Hi folks, I had a couple of requests about my new handrail storage system, so I thought I'd give you a quick look. This is something we've been working on for a while. I've always needed a handrail up here, and so I wanted to make one that could store things also. Now these bottom pegs down here are loose, and they go all the way through, so I could put a tack on them to keep them in, but I needed to leave them out so I could bolt them down. Now all these are welded through. They go through the other side. I did it this way so I can insert a 3/4 inch cold rolled or hot rolled solid rod in there and have it stick out this side for extra storage on this side if I wanted to. I don't really like things like that hanging over my head, so if I can figure a safe way to do it, I will. But right now I can also put one on this side and extend it on out. But I needed the aisle space, and that's why I didn't do it, and that's why I came up where I could make it extendable. We're just about ready to start finishing the rest of this. Oh, I don't think I've ever showed you guys. This is my upstairs. Up on the mezzanine. The plan is to put all my woodworking equipment up here. There's my Powermatic surfacer. Old jet router table. I make cabinets, I make the molding for them and everything else. The doors. A little cheap old joiner, but for what I do, it works fine. And storage for electrical and paint and all kinds of stuff. Plan on fixing it where I could do woodwork up here if I wanted to. But right now, my biggest problem is getting things up here. So right where that ends, right where this hand railing ends, is basically even with that door rail. And we're going to put a 4x4 metal post right in this area, and then come over 6 feet and put another one, and then put an I-beam across the top of those two and suspend another I-beam that'll be cantilevered out over that space. And then that way I can come back here and put a post, and we'll have us a rolling, I guess you'd call it a gantry crane. Or maybe not. You know, the shop doesn't look too bad from up here. The old 16. Those are all the tools and things we're using to work on it right now. Got the new Bridgeport sitting down there. All the parts have come in for it. A piece of 2x4 is protecting those two tubes right there. And inside the tubes is a brand new X and Y threaded shaft for the table. Got all the head parts. Will be a new machine when we're through. That's how my stairway raises and lowers. But I really need to get that overhead crane up here, and then we'll finish out all the way down there with more handrails and one for this stairway. Oh, that's a project I really want to get started on. I just don't have the time. That is a telescope that I built in 1993. It's what I call my wheelbarrow telescope. As you can see, it kind of folds all up there. Those two arms come out. And in its place, that little foot right there inserts into that tube. These are just cam locked. And then This is a horseshoe mount. You lift this ring up and you step on this little pedal right here, and these two arms fold up into place with rollers on them, and this rotates. Point that towards the North Pole and you only have to move it in one axis. I built this, I think in '93. And when we built our new house, unbeknownst to me, my workers put this out on the back porch of the new house, and it sit out there for 9 months, and I did not know it. Uncovered. But I built everything on this thing with the exception of a couple motors, some wire, and a friend of mine built this little computer over here so we could run, new to us at the time, stepper motors. So I can rebuild it. Got a 10-inch f8 mirror in there that survived in nice shape. This is how I collimate it. I have rods that come up to here, and they go back to here and down into the gear mount from behind. I don't see you can see it. I'll show you better when we get to it. It's got a 1-inch secondary, and I kind of invented this way of holding it as a spider, so like a guitar spring tensioner, and that's really strong piano wire. I didn't want any diffraction spikes, and you could collimate it from outside. Made this nice little focuser for it. This one, I don't know if you can read that. It says first place award, excellence in optical performance, small optics, 1994 telescope competition at Stelfing. First time I ever went there. Also won overall first prize in Texas Star Party that year. But we'll get it going again. Just needs a little time. Oh, look who's down there.
Are you up there bragging on yourself?
I'm giving him a tour of the front.
Of the front?
Well, excuse me.
How you
I'm giving.
organized it
Yes, this is the most organized place up here.
in the whole barn.
Don came along a year ago and decided to.
That you needed help.
Yeah, I need help. But I tell you, if you look at it from up here, it looks pretty damn good to me.
This looks like a bunch of big ass tools.
Well,
Which is good.
there's nothing better, dear.
I guess not. Alrighty. Just making sure you weren't talking to yourself.
I'm not talking to myself anymore.
Alright. Go right ahead.
The things you have to put up with for YouTube. Anyway, this is a 10 horsepower motor. That's my idler motor for my 10 horsepower phase converter. Out in the back behind that door, I have a 20 horsepower that runs the planer and the big tools. This is my sandblast cabinet. We stuck it up here, and the plan is to take this dust collector and put it over here in this corner where I've got this dust collection system. So all the chips will come into it and then go down that tube into a trash can underneath that cabinet. Now that we've got the handrail in place, we can move it over there. Still trying to straighten this area up. Don't know when that will happen. This is a neat part of this sandblast cabinet. A rotary table that moves around. It's real handy when you're doing big parts. Bought this out of an auction of an aircraft facility about 5 or 6 years ago. Works good. Well, like I say, I think it looks pretty good from up here. I might just well stay here. Thanks for watching.